right. All right. Stuff out of the way. All right. Hey, everyone. I'm Big John, and welcome to another episode of the Disability Show live. This week, I want to talk about shades of green tips. Now, in case you don't know, shades of green is the on-property resort exclusively for active and retired members of our U.S. military. Both of my parents are retired Navy, and we have stayed at Shades of Green many times in the past. And it's beautiful. And it used to have a great walkway between there and the Polynesian before Disney decided to mess that up for it. But anyway, first of all, make sure you have a rental car. That's my opinion. Because if you want to go anywhere besides MK Magic Kingdom without a bus, a rental car is your best bet. Now, in terms of dining, they used to have a great dinner buffet. Now it's just a breakfast buffet because they believe they make more money with their pizza deliveries. In the terms of dining, your best bet would be to either order from the quick serve or get food elsewhere. Now, they do have a small exchange where you can get groceries, but some of the clothing and apparel stuff they have ain't what it used to be. But of course, if you are a current or retired military personnel, first of all, thank you for your service. And also, Shades of Green is most likely your best and cheapest bet. So anyway, that's my tip. As always, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live or in the comments if you're watching this later, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. And now it's time for this week's Top 5. So believe it or not, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party has already begun last night at the Magic Kingdom. How crazy is that? I mean, it's early August, for crying out loud. But, of course, it's Florida, and the kids down there are starting to go back to school very soon. And we have done the Not So Scary Halloween Party twice now. And it is a lot of fun. So this week, we are going to cover... no, I am not a predator. Thank you very much. It's called being autistic, and you, my friend, are being put in timeout indefinitely. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. So this week, we are going to cover my top 5 offerings at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Number 5, Rusty Cutlass. That's Rusty with an R. It is a pirate band that plays in Adventureland during the party, and they're pretty good. Some of them are members of the Reindeer Wranglers during Christmas time. And they do great songs. They do pirate versions of classic songs, you know. Come and get your rum. And they even do a pirate version of the Monster Mash. And of course, they always end with Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Number 4, Disney's Not So Spooky Spectacular. So this is the fireworks show during the party, and it's a mix of fireworks, projections, and live, sort of, with the giant Jack Skellington puppet. It's really great. It shows Mickey and his friends Mickey and pals going trick-or-treating. Zero, the ghost dog, guides them through a haunted house, and they end up face to face with a group of villains: Oogie Boogie, Queen of Hearts, Hades, and Ursula. It's a great mix of fireworks and projections, if you ask me. It's one of the best seasonal shows at Disney. Number 3, trick-or-treating throughout the park. So, naturally, it's a Halloween party, so of course, there's going to be trick-or-treating. And they give you these... Wait, hang on. Yeah, these are the trick-or-treat bags that we got in years past, and as you can see, they're not that big. Hey, that's okay, Elliot. You can always watch this in the replay later in case you miss anything. Just do what you have to do. And I want to thank you for being a loyal viewer, unlike the guy that I had to put in a timeout 5 minutes ago. But yeah, these are the trick-or-treat bag. An example are the trick-or-treat bags that we got in years past. And as you can see, they don't hold that much candy, but at each of the treat stations throughout the park, they give you buckets of candy. I mean, tons. I can't begin to tell you how many bags of glow-in-the-dark Skittles we got last year. All right. Hi, Martin Y4Y. If you're just tuning in, we just talked about tips about Shades of Green, and right now we are in the middle of discussing my top 5 offerings at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Hi, Ivy Rose Veins. Number 2, the Cadaver Dans. So, during the Halloween party, the Dapper Dans turn into these ghostly singers, and they sing in Frontierland. We have seen them during both times we went to Not So Scary. They are great. I mean, let's face it. No matter if they're Dapper or Cadaver. No, I do not commentate something on YouTube. I just do this. And I'm doing fine, Ivy Rose. Thank you so much for asking. But whether they're Dapper or Cadaver, the Dans are awesome. And some of them are great friends of mine and great viewers of this channel. And my number 1 offering at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Mickey's Boo to You Halloween Parade. Now, this is perhaps the number 1 reason why people go to Not So Scary, because the parade is pretty much iconic. Well, thank you, Ivy Rose. I've decorated it many times over the years, Make it like me, all about Disney and doing Disney for people with disabilities. I'm glad you like the background. Some of it has been given to me over the years by fans. Some have been made for me. But as I was saying, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Mickey's Boo to You Halloween Parade is perhaps the greatest highlight of the party because... Well, thank you, Ivy Rose. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Mickey's Boo-Doo Halloween Parade is perhaps the greatest highlight. I mean, it starts with the Headless Horseman coming down Main Street. And then in between then on Main Street is Powerline Max. And if you've seen a Goofy movie, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know who Vsauce is, Joshua Anderson. But then the parade comes down and you got Mickey and his friends all over the Magic Kingdom celebrating Halloween in their own very special ways. Thank you, Ivy Rose, for subscribing. I mean, it starts with Mickey and his pals, then Captain Jack Sparrow and pirates, then, of course, the Haunted Mansion unit featuring the grave diggers scraping their shovels along Main Street. Then there's Goofy with a bunch of dancing scarecrows. There's the candy section with Wreck-It Ralph, Vanellope, and the Sugar Rush people. And, of course, as any Halloween thing should at Disney, it ends with the villains. I have not seen any videos yet of this year's parade, but I'm sure Mother Gothel is still up there on the float with the villains. Kat, if you're watching, I hope it's true. So let me know in the chat or in the comments if you have ever done or are planning to do Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And if so, what parts are your favorite or what are you looking most forward to? And now it's time for the Ding Ding Theme Park Throwdown. As you know, this is the part of the show where we discuss differences between Disney and Universal. This week's topic, park layouts. So, Walt Disney World is pretty much its own city almost, with all the parks pieced together by hotels, boats, buses, monorails, and skyliners. Whereas Universal, they are mostly placed together, crammed, except for Epic Universe and their hotel, Helios. So let me know in the chat or in the comments who you think takes this week's throwdown. Do you prefer everything spread out like at Disney? Or do you like things crammed together like at Universal? And now it's trivia time! So last week, we asked what singing duo was the star of the live-action Little Mermaid. The correct answer was Halle Bailey of Chloe and Halle. And now here is this week's trivia time question. What are the names of Ursula's eels? Be the first one in the chat or in the comments with the correct answer, and you will receive 100 cool points. So, as I said, last night was the first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party of the year. I know it's crazy that it's only early August and we're already talking about Halloween. But as I said earlier, down in Florida, kids are starting to go back to school. One of my good friends down there is a teacher, so I'm sure she is, at this moment, getting ready to have her classroom crammed with, I think, kindergartners. Mike, if you're watching, there's Little Miss Palm Tree, the kindergarten, I can't remember, but... But yeah, I mean, as I said, we have already done Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party twice. We're not going to do it this year because we are actually going to be going down in our RV for the first time. Patricia, you're close. You're close. But Ivy Rose, you answered correctly. You get 100 cool points. But Patricia, you are very close. You are still 3 away from becoming a mod. And Ivy Rose, you are now 9 away from becoming a mod. So maybe one day you'll be mods just like our loyal viewer Laura, who doesn't seem to be in the chat today. But as I said, I will not be doing Not So Scary this year because for the very first time this November, we are going to be going down to Disney in our RV for Christmas time. And we will be doing our very first Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And I cannot wait for that. I mean, there's going to be a lot more great content I'll be able to show you. There you are, Laura. We were just talking about you. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that we're talking about Halloween already. I mean, it's crazy enough that we celebrate Christmas shorter than we celebrate Halloween at Disney. And also, just a quick reminder, next weekend will be D23. And on next week's show, I will be discussing my top 5 parks predictions. And then the next day on Sunday, I will be going live to give a review of everything that has been announced. So I want you all to make sure that you're all well subscribed and be ready next Sunday morning. That would be the 16th. Yep. Why, yes, Laura. Yes, we will. I mean, we've stayed at Fort Wilderness a couple times in the past. We've stayed in the old cabins, and most recently we stayed in the new ones, which I think the old ones are better. So anyway, make sure you all stay tuned for so much great content coming up, including some stuff that's still in the can from April. So make sure you guys stay tuned for everything that we have coming up. So anyway, that's our show. As I said, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live, or in the comments if you're watching this later, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. For this week's shoutouts, make sure you guys check out my buddy Beth over at Beth's Disney Adventures. She does great luck. She's hopefully going to be doing a couple live streams this coming week. Make sure you check her out. Also, make sure you guys check out allears.net. You're welcome, Laura. They do great infotainment videos, great challenges throughout the parks. Definitely check them out. Also, make sure you guys check out my pal Kevin Valente. He does great park content. And also make sure you guys check out Matt and Goo over at Goo to You. They do great live streams from the parks as well. Definitely check them out. If you haven't subscribed here yet to the Big John Network, what in the Walt Disney World are you waiting for? And ding the bell for notifications so you never miss a second of the fun. And until next time, best remove them.